Africa is rising, and the revolution is going to be televised. It's been a long time coming. It's been a very, 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 very long time coming, man. The sons of Africa are tired, and now the spirits of Africa is calling their sons back. You know, violence is never the answer, but sometimes it's the only option. People all over the African continent, they've been done so wrong for a very, very, very long time, and now they are rising up. They are rising up. I wouldn't be surprised if we end up seeing a lot of coup d'etats coming from Africa. We've already seen one in Niger, and now recently the one from Gabon. So I'm sorry, the sons of Africa, we are rising. We've been done so wrong. It's time. It's time for us to take back our continent. Um, you know, it baffles me how a president and a family can treat a nation as their own. How can one president rule a country for 53 years? That's a little bit crazy. So if you have been following of late, last week, um, Gabon, the Gabon president, Omar Bongo, he has been ruling Gabon from 1967 to 2009. Omar Bongo. So he's been the president in power of Gabon from 1967 to 2009. And after 2009, his son Ali Bongo took over the presidency till last week when he was, dethroned from the office through a military coup d'etat. It's absolutely insane how this country is let one family rule over them for 53 years. But this is not the only country that's been happening to. Across all the 54 countries, there are a lot of countries where they've had, for example, Zimbabwe. The president was in power for a very, very long time, and this has been going on across Africa for a very long time. So um, it's we are gonna see it. We are gonna be seeing a lot of coup d'etats. I'm sorry. That I'm not promoting violence, but you know, for the African continent to get better, right? It they are gonna have to take out some of the leaders. They are gonna have to take out some of the leaders. That's the only option. Um, these leaders have been installed into power by the Western, by France, by a lot of outside influences, and they are still using them as puppets to destroy our continent. So let me give you a background, right? So last week, Gabon's president was taken out by a military coup d'etat. It read that Omar Bongo, who was a president from 1967 to 2009, he has 70 bank accounts, 39 apartments, 2 Ferraris, 6 Mercedes, 3 Porsches, and a Bugatti in France. You know, he's been working alongside with the French country for a very long time because of the minerals. So basically, they are supplying them. They are supplying all the minerals from their country to the France, right? So it's like you have a country where your people are suffering, and you are being controlled by an outside source. Gabon is only the population of Gabon is only 2 million people, right? And for them to live in poverty, it's absolutely insane. Gabon is 33.4% of Gabon population lives in poverty, despite them having oil. That is absurd. 2.4 million is not even the size of Virginia. 2.4 million in the United States, we have 50 states. Gabon is not even bigger than Virginia, right? And the fact that the country is still poor shows you how greedy some of these African leaders have been. So, like I said, there's going to be a lot of these coup d'etats coming up. Africa is rising. Kids like us, we've went outside. Our parents are blessed enough to be educated enough. When you go across the African continent, right? The leaders have been greedy for a very, very long time because across the whole entire African continent, of late, when you go back into our history, there's a lot of uneducation, right? And a lot of illiterates, a lot of people that can't read and write, so they can't really discern what's going on, right? So it's like you put these people in power, and it's like they keep on looting from the country. They keep on looting from the country. They keep on looting from the country. But how long was that going to be, right? Eventually, we were going to wake up. So I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that that the military coup d'état took place in Gabon. Hopefully, it ends up being better. But in my honest opinion, I, you know, military coup d'état is never the right thing to do. Democracy is always the answer, right? But I always say not all African countries are also ready for democracy. Uh, you know, um, um, but in this case, the military coup d'état is needed. It's needed. In Nigeria is doing terrible. Other African countries are really doing terrible, and you go check out some of these presidents. They're being installed by the French. They're being installed by the, the Russians, the Chinese. They are influencing a lot of our presidents, right? So how do we take back our country, the citizens? You know, when this last week, when this coup d'état happened in Gabon, right? It is insane that the whole country was outside celebrating. When 80% of your people are celebrating, right, a coup d'état, right, it's no more a coup d'état. It's actually what it means is that the people are suffering and they need help. Like, what it means is that the people are really suffering and they need help. And I pray for the people of Gabon. I pray that they are able to restore their country, because 2.4 million people, you know, with 33.4% living under poverty while having oil is insane. It's absolutely insane when one family is getting rich of all the resources. That is not right. That is not right. So kudos to the African country. Kudos to the military. But I also have an issue with the military, right? That conducted the coup d'état. So today, the leader of the coup d'état, right? His name is Brice Oligui Nguema. So he was sworn in as the interim president today. But according to resources, right? Brice Oligui Nguema is also, now here's the funny thing. Brice Oligui Nguema is Ali Bongo's cousin, right? So basically, the guy that conducted the coup d'état is still related to Ali Bongo. So it's still a family business. You know, it's scary. It's scary. It's scary. It's like going from one dictator to another, right? But at least the people of Gabon, they have their country back. And supposedly this new guy, Brice Oligui, he does things differently. He just came into power, and even though he's related to Ali Bongo, we still have to give him time to see how he rules the country, right? We can just judge him right away, even though just because he's related to them. So me personally, I don't agree with it. But just getting Ali Bongo and Omar Bongo out, is the first step. Is the first step. Now they have the chance, they have the right to take their country back, to make their own decisions. Now the only problem that I have with this new guy, with the interim president, is that he purchased, according to them, according to their country, right? Brice Oligui is also a very rich man. He purchased a Silver Spring property in Maryland for 447,000 US dollars, and also other two homes in the United States for 1 million dollars in cash, right? So this guy also that they installed, also, it seems like he already has his own money. Um, like I said, I am not gonna judge him. We are gonna give us some time. I'm gonna keep my eye on the situation, right? To see what's going on, to see how he's gonna disperse the money, because it's a lot of money in Gabon. for an oil-rich country with 2 million population, man, I want to see Gabon. I really want to see Gabon develop. I really want to see Gabon develop. If you know about the Rothschild, right? The Rothschild is one of the prominent families in the world. It's like one of the richest families, right? The Rothschild is like how do I compare them? It's like the royals of the England, like the Queen Elizabeth, right? They have a lot of money. The Rothschilds, a report was released that after the coup, the Rothschilds funded mining company had suspended all his operations in Gabon, which is really good. It's a start. It's a start. You have this all foreign influences using their power and looting the country of their resources. So I'm glad that their mining company has been stopped. Because if you go back into the old money, Rothschilds it's an old money, it's an old money family. And I didn't even know they had a business in Africa, right? It's scary. So this is a start. I'm happy for Gabon. I'm happy for Gabon for taking back their country. This is how Africa is gonna get rich. I'm not sold on his cousin, being installed as the interim president. But if the coup d'etat, if they came around him, and decided to, go ahead and do this, I'm all in support. There's something that the military has seen. That's why they really want to install him into power. So, we have to give them some time and see how Gabon operates from now. Niger is going through the same problem. Niger wants friends out. Gabon also, it seems like they are turning around. Africa is not. Africa is rising up. And this is a start. It's a lot of countries where presidents have been in power for so long. Mugabe, who did that to Zimbabwe. Nigeria is facing the same issue. So I'm sorry to say that, but it's going to be a lot of coup d'etats around the African continent. Violence is going to be needed to get these people out before development starts coming in. Sometimes these countries have to go through this, and unfortunately, it's sad that we have to go through this. But sometimes these things are needed, right, for us to go into the right direction. But I am proud of Gabon for getting Ali Bongo and Omar Bongo out of office. The dude couldn't even walk. The dude was he was basically being, told what to do by the French. And I'm glad, and I'm disgusted by the French for what they are doing in Niger. I'm disgusted by them for what they are doing in Africa. And I want to warn them that the African sons we are rising, we are coming up, and they got to be careful. Everybody that has their hands in Africa, man, it's time. We are coming. And that's all I want to say. The sons of Africa, we are coming. We are tired of what the world has done to us. We are tired of what the world has done to us. Once again, I'll reiterate that we are tired. Africans, we are coming, and it's payback. So, Gabon, I wish you the best. Niger, I wish you the best. The other 52 African countries, I wish you all the best, man. Do it for your sons. Do it for the new generations. It's not going to be easy, right? It's been 500 years of slavery since the Portuguese arrived in Ghana in 1471, right? It's been a lot of white influences all over my continent. So it's going to take time. But we are going to get there. Trust me, African, we are going to get there. I'm proud of you guys, one at a time. Till next time.